Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate it. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming to today's hearing entitled Entering the Golden Age. Probably named it that because the price of eggs are the price of gold. But here we are. Chairman Drew mentioned something. He said the People's Justice Department. I actually think that's very important. Unfortunately, the DC U.S. Attorney Ed Martin disagrees with him because he calls himself Trump's attorney, his own words and his own statements. He doesn't say the people's attorney. He doesn't say the Justice Department's attorney. He said he's President Trump's lawyer. And so it seems to me that those two things are not accurate. Mr. Swacker, you think a U.S. attorney is the president's attorney or the Department of Justice's attorney?
It's people's attorney.
The people's attorney, okay.
The president has a White House counsel.
Okay, right. Okay, so I just want to clear that up. Maybe someone should, send a quick email to Ed Martin. Maybe we can get someone in Doge to do that. They like emailing people with like 5 things to do. Maybe like someone could say like, hey, Mr. Martin, of the 5 things to do, number 1, make sure you know who your client is. It's America, not the president. He's also sending letters to members of Congress. Are you aware of that, Mr. Fahey?
Yes.
Yeah,
I think if you're referring to the Chuck Schumer letter, yes?
No, he's sending letters to member of the House asking him to clarify statements.
When he made those
Yeah.
statements or...
Which is weird because literally that same week he sent a letter, like this committee literally held a whole hearing on free speech, right? And then all of a sudden the DC attorney is sending letters asking members of Congress to clarify.
Those are tricky situations. The Schumer thing, if that was not Chuck Schumer and just a regular person outside of the Supreme Court, I believe that person would at least be investigated for threats, whether or not it comes out. And those are tricky, but I don't think those are so clear cut because you don't have a free speech right to threaten people, threaten justice.
No, of course not.
I don't see, I see your point and that may be how it breaks out, but I don't think it's inappropriate to look a step further in those types of things.
We're hearing a lot about weaponization, and my colleagues across the other aisle, they're the bravado party. Like, we can admit that, right? Like, the Republicans just have a lot more bravado than Democrats, and I'm okay admitting that. But they seem to just not wanting to, they're like coy on this one. They're not interested in ending the weaponization of the DOJ. They want to continue it. In fact, the deep state gave them a bad idea, and they're going to run with it. And in fact, not only are they going to run with it, man, they're going to do it even better than the deep state. They just hired pacifist Dan Bongino, right? Dan Bongino, that seems to be very against this idea that we want to end weaponization. Dan, who says Americans are having a Cold War amongst themselves, who says that the only thing that matters is power, a system of checks and balances. Ha! That's a good one. That doesn't seem to be someone that wants to end the weaponization. It seems someone who is going to be given power and wants to continue the weaponization. I have a question. Will you gentlemen all come back in, let's say, a year and give us your assessment of whether or not we have ended the weaponization? We'll do this, a quick, okay, you're here now, and then a year later you'll come back and we'll be like, by the way, mission accomplished. We'll get a big banner, we'll fly a plane, and mission accomplished. Or will you come back and admit, it looks like it's continuing to go on? Okay.
That's
not all at once.
Depending on the scheduling, sure.
Yeah.
We don't have to pick a date now. That's fine.
We'll get it. We'll get it.
I thought it was a rhetorical question, but yeah, we'll
it
come
was
back.
rhetorical. Okay, fair. Someone is paying attention. So I just there's got to be at least one of my colleagues who can get in front of the camera and be the tough guy and just be like, we're not ending the weaponization. No. The deep state started it, man. We're gonna run with it because we've already seen that in the appointments in the first couple of weeks. I don't need honesty because we're in Congress, but what I want is we already know. The American people know. They know this, right? We don't need to hide. Just tell the American people what they know. Revenge tour is coming. We're gonna have tour dates. We're going to show up, we're going to play arenas, but the DOJ revenge tour is coming. Thank you.
Okay. Two things. I believe